So, I mean, hope you. Now, if I am missing a slide from one of the seasons, it's probably because it didn't change from the last, or it's just irrelevant and I'll add it. And so I want to talk about these words. Nerf means that they're making something worse, and a buff is when they're making something better. Alright. Season 1. Season 1 was, as again, it first started off, so you have places like Loot, Lake, Dusty Depot, Small Facts, Salty. I mean, pretty basic. And Season 1 Loadouts. It was a brand new game. People don't really know what to be using. So I mean, people would be running like random guns, like a AR, a pump. People would be running like several things and not knowing what to use. So I mean, it was a brand new game. Gotta get used to it. So you know. Meta. Meta stands for most effective tactics available. There wasn't really a meta in Season 1, but people never built. So if you got shot at, you would really just have to run and try to find natural cover. So, Season 2. Season 2, the second map, they added a bunch of new places like Tilted Towers, Snobby, Haunted, Jump. So, and it's the meta and the loadout. This guy who goes by the name of Daquan found out this glitch called double pump, where you could shoot one of your shotguns, switch to another one, and shoot it again, dealing a lot of damage in a short amount of time. So that is normally what a loadout would look like. So, Season 3. People realized after double pump came out, you can actually run different double things. Like the pump tack was another one that came out. And people actually realized how important building was. So instead of when you get shot at and trying to find cover, they would actually build a wall. Super impressive.
Whoa.
And Season 4. Dusty Depot was hit by a meteor. That's interesting, I guess. Yeah. And people started realizing that it's not just pumps and other things. You can actually run double of a lot of things. You can run double heavy shotgun, double sniper, double explosives, and it was really just interesting how people would take these concepts and use them. Season 5, the worst season of all times. They added a desert place, adding places like Paradise Palms, Westworld, and Racetrack. And they also added Lazy Links, kind of like a golf resort place. And they decided to remove double pump. So people weren't really happy about that one, but then these 5 weapons kind of broke the game. You have the drum gun, which could deal a lot of damage in almost any range and having a mag of over 50, so it would just spray. Then you had the minigun, can hold up to 1,000 bullets, and you don't have to reload. And then the P90 and the LMG and the other SMG were actually pretty accurate and could deal a lot of damage. So it was really just not really skill based, it was just kind of who can outspray the other person. So nobody liked this meta. A bunch of people stopped playing it this time, and it really kind of was where it kind of started declining in popularity. So,
Yes.
and here's where a term called 90s comes out. It's basically a way to get easy high ground on your opponent, so you can shoot right back down at them. And there's a bunch of different kinds of 90s, but this is kind of where it just all started off. Season 6. I thought Season 6 was a lot better than Season 5, and it was pretty good. People started realizing that after the drum gun got removed, they need to use shotgun, SMG. The shotgun would shoot and deal a lot of damage, then you would switch over to your SMG and finish them off. And it's still going on to this day. People still use that meta. And another somewhat half meta, Epic Games decided to add a thing called redeploy, where you would build up, jump off, pull out your glider again, and you could fly again. So really, during that season, you'd see a bunch of people flying around, and that's kind of where shooting out of the sky came from. So, sorry it's a little blurry, but basically, there was a giant crack in the sky. Somehow there was a cube that happened right here, rolled around the map, making all these things, and it melted into Loot Lake. Basically, there's a giant floating island. It's scary. Don't ask. Season 7. There was a iceberg that actually hit the map, making everything in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, snow, destroying places like Greasy Grove, but adding places like Frosty Flights, Happy Hamlet, and Polar Peak. This is where planes came in. Planes basically fly like a plane. And,
Whoa.
and you could shoot people from the sky, dealing a bunch of damage, but you could also go through people, and it would basically kill them in one hit, and it was really broken. And this is where people were like, decided, okay, building's important, why don't we start showing it off? So this is where a term called scrims starts coming from, where people build a bunch. It's basically, you have a small circle, a bunch of people left, and these zones start moving. But you wanna try to survive and win the game, as Fortnite is, and basically, you just gotta build and do whatever you can to try to survive, so, yeah. This is the one-shot wall meta, where Heavy Sniper can one-shot any wall in the game, and the Deagle could one-shot wood, but most people built out of wood anyway. So basically, you'd run up, shoot your gun, replace their wall, edit it, and then shoot them with your shotgun, basically killing them. If not, then you would go back to shotgun SMG. You know? Season 8. They decided to add a volcano, lava, you know, little pirate place. It's pretty good. This is where we get to the Flintlock and Baller meta. Flintlock is basically a pistol where if you shoot, it'll get launched back. Henceforth, Flintlock. The Baller is basically like a giant hamster ball with a little grapple. So you could suck onto something and go around. It's basically a faster thing of transportation instead of taking like a hoverboard or like a bike. Flintlock, basically, again, if you would shoot down, you would be knocked up, basically taking high ground from the enemy, and again, you would use pump SMG, so, Season 9.
Oh no.
They decided to remove the pumps. Now, if you have a game where you have a weapon that everybody loves, and it's been there since day one, would you remove it? Exactly. But they did. So basically, the volcano destroyed Retail Row and Tilted Towers. Several years later, they are now futuristic, called Mega Mall and Neo Tilted, and the volcano is now a pressure plant. A bunch of scientists are working on it, figuring out what they can find in there. So this is basically a normal loadout. You'd have an assault rifle, a combat shotgun, the replacement for the pump, P90. Right now, P90 got removed at this time because it was made before that. And drum gun, minis, sniper, something, just heals. Combat shotgun. The combat shotgun is a little weaker than the pump, but it can shoot a lot faster and has a lot more mags. So basically, to make up for the pump, you would shoot your combat shotgun twice, dealing the same amount of damage as a pump, then switch over to your SMG and finish them off. So that's how people kind of shifted, making it the new meta. A lot of people don't like the drum gun because it was really broken and it deals a lot of damage. But again, when I made this, those weren't made, but the drum gun is actually really fair now. Nobody picks it up anymore because of a replacement. Yeah, a lot of people being mad. So this is kind of where it went down from Season 5 and after. People really didn't like the game and the changes they were making. So I don't really know where Fortnite's gonna go, but if I'm gonna be honest, if I can make a prediction, by next year, I'm pretty sure Fortnite's not gonna be as popular, so if you're walking around the hallways, you don't gotta hear people screaming about, we like Fortnite, we like Fortnite. Whoa! You know? So, yeah. Any questions?
Oh, that.
The dances.
Okay, Claire?
That last slide, like, is that slide necessary?
Yes.
Yes.
Why would it not be like? We all love watching Trump do Fortnite games.
Yep.